watching Thrifty Kaniffy. Hello everyone and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. Well, today we're going to be taking a look at a model of knife that I've not taken a look at before, from a brand I've not looked at before. This is Smith & Wesson. Now they're more known for their guns than their knives, but we're going to take a look at the knife today, and this is brought to us by American Outdoor Brands, so I want to thank them for sending this along for review and let you guys know that it will not affect the honesty of my review. So we've got model number SWOTF9B. So Smith & Wesson out the front 9B. That's how I would interpret that. This one is actually made in Taiwan. And then we've got our cancer warning and so forth. So Taiwan made. Here is the knife itself. 5.5 inch length from the tip of the glass breaker to the tip of that little lever there at the front. So 5.5 inch overall. It's about 6.02 ounces overall weight, so pretty chunky knife. Pretty feels very weighty in the hand, very durable. Got all aluminum body, and then you've got the stainless sort of liner in between there that it bolts into with all the Torx screws around the perimeter. So you've got a safety lock mechanism here. You can see the red dot means that it's ready to fire. Kind of a positive switch to it that you can hear, so that's nice. And we're going to keep it locked up just for the moment. You've got the blade release there. You just simply slide that forward, and then when the blade deploys, this slider goes up, and then you use that to re-engage it. Now, a couple of little negatives about the slider is it's kind of pointy, and when you're using the action of to draw it back in, it's got quite a bit of tension on the spring there. So this last 3/4 inches they're kind of difficult to engage. Got a lot of tension on it, and with that being as kind of pointy as it is, it's not very comfortable on your thumb. So that would be something that I would look to improve on in the future if I were the manufacturer. Also, it is a little bit contoured for a right-handed person. So this release up here at the top is kind of designed for someone using a left-handed or a right-handed grip. As you can see where the release there is at the top. You can do it as a left-handed person. Just a couple of little things you have to kind of be aware of. The slider goes up like this in this groove, and so when you deploy it, you need to have your hand kind of elevated slightly so that can move freely up the channel there. Not a huge deal. I didn't really recognize it until it happened maybe 1 out of 10 deployments. So it's not something that you're going to have to really be that concerned with. And it doesn't really hurt if it hits you. It's no big deal. The spring action is pretty lively, so you definitely don't want to have your hand anywhere in front of that blade when it's coming out. And otherwise, I think it's a pretty good beginner style OTF. It's like $45 from Chicago Knife Works, $50 from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. So it's certainly in that affordable range, under the $50 price mark, especially for a modern style knife, where these aren't uncommon to go for $200-300 for the nicer ones from like Microtech and so forth. But yeah, it's got the deep pocket carry there. Again, it's blade down carry, so it's going to deploy that direction. So you definitely want to have that locking mechanism on and engage that when you're carrying it in your pocket. But we're going to open it up now and have a look at the blade. Everybody's been waiting to see what kind of deployment we have here, so let's get a good look at that. Snaps right on out there very quickly. Very good tension on that spring, bringing that out. We have a dagger blade here with an edge on either side and a nice sharp point. It's definitely designed to be used as a self-defense knife. That concave grind on either side, and you can see the little split in the middle there. Pretty lengthy blade as well, for the handle size of about 5 inches, 5.5 if you're including the lever and the glass breaker. But you've got like a 3 3/8 inch, 5/8 inch, sorry, blade length, so pretty good sized blade on it. I don't know what else you'd use this for. I don't have a lot of experience with, dagger blades, but Perhaps it is an EDC carry that some would enjoy. I don't know. Just don't have a lot of experience with it. But definitely designed, for self-defense use. And I can definitely see that having an edge on either side and a sharp point. Can definitely do some damage if you were forced to use it in that way. But again, like the right-handed release, pretty easy. You just hit that button there, and then you draw it back in with this little lever on the side. Now, I do find it best to use two hands when you're re-engaging it like that. And I'll show you how I deploy it left-handed. Have a little bit of a gap between my forefinger and thumb, no problem at all. And release it much the same way. Re-engage it, such as this. Now, a few other little things about the blade. You've got this black coating on it, right? And the Smith & Wesson logo on the main side, and then on the back, some things. You've got the model number here at the top near the tang, and a U.S. patent number. And below that, AUS 8 steel. So that's what we're dealing with here is AUS 8. Should be easy enough to sharpen, I would imagine. And then you've got a July 22nd date code there. So pretty recently made knife. But overall length, we're looking at what, just under 9 inches, about 8 3/4 inches with it deployed. Again, easy enough to release. Just makes that where it's completely loose, and then you just pull that back to re-engage. You can see how the clip or the lever moves as you do that. To pay attention to this as I'm sliding that back. So we got it released, and then you can see how that slides back when I re-engage it. Boom, just like that. So pretty easy to manipulate, not a problem with either hand. Just one of those things where I wish they maybe would have improved on the little lever for the pullback. To re-engage it, it's a little bit sharp, not super comfortable to use. I think that they had designed that to be a little larger. Wouldn't poke in your hand quite so bad. Kind of leaves a little imprint in your thumb. Not particularly comfortable to use. After 3 or 4 times, you're kind of feeling that on your thumb. A little bit sore. But other than that, not a big deal. I think that this lock is super important. I'm glad that it has that little snap to it to hear it. Let you know that it is locked, and of course it gives you a visual indication. There's no red dot when it's in a safe position. It's not going to go anywhere. You can see it's 100% locking up. So then safe to put in your pocket. But I think it's a really good knife for discovery. As I've said with many knives, when you buy the more inexpensive ones up front, sometimes you end up having some buyer's remorse there, not wanting or liking the particular knife that you end up getting. This will allow you to get into the OTF for, under $50. Just kind of discover whether or not you like this sort of thing. Again, I don't think it has a whole lot of practical use. It's definitely a self-defense knife and survivalist type knife with the glass breaker if you're in the situation where you're in a car accident or something of that nature. So again, it's more designed for a more specific purpose, and so not as versatile, but that's sort of the whole intent of it, so I can't fault the knife for that. But again, Smith & Wesson, more known for their guns and things, but now have some offerings that I can review from their knife line. So again, want to thank AOB for sending this along. I think overall this is a pretty decent knife. Seems like it's well built. The action on it's really good. The deployment seems to work really well. Locks up good, and it's easy enough to manipulate to close. And of course, with that locking safety lock there, seems safe enough to use. So that's a really good thing. But that's going to do it for my review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell to be made aware of videos when they drop. We'll see you next time. Take care.